Hello lovely. Today I'm going to show you how to make a foundation double crochet, also known as an FDC. I like to start my project crochet with a foundation double crochet. I prefer it over using a chain for many reasons. Firstly, I find it much easier to use a foundation double crochet rather than fussing about with making a chain and then working back on it just to start my project. Secondly, I find it quicker for the same reason. You're only working the row once for a foundation rather than working it back again as you would if you were using a traditional chain. Thirdly, I prefer it because it looks a bit more professional, especially if you're using it on a waistband or something that will be at the start of a project and is noticeable. And lastly, I prefer it because it gives the item a little bit more stretch. When you start with a chain, it becomes very tight and the rest of the rows don't really have the same tension, whereas with a foundation double crochet row, it feels just as stretchy as the rest of your stitch rows. So now we know how useful this foundation double crochet can be. Let's get started. I just also like to say that I am Scottish, as you might be able to tell from my accent, but I do follow, so I am referring to the US double crochet rather than the British double crochet. In Britain we would be calling it a treble crochet. So we'll start with making a slip knot. So wrap the yarn over your finger, make a loop, pull it through and onto your hook. Okay, so we are now going to make a few chains, not many, just a few. Okay, so yarn over and pull through. And I've done this 3 times to make my chain. Some people like to make 4 chains for their foundation double crochet, so I'll leave that up to you, but I have worked with 3 chains to start. Okay, so you're going to yarn over and you're going to skip all of the chains that you've made until you get to the first chain that you've made. You're going to put your hook through the chain and pull through. You've now got 3 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through 1. You've still got 3 loops now on your hook. Yarn over again, this time pull through 2 loops. You've now got 2 loops left on your hook. And yarn over one more time and pull through the other 2 loops on your hook. You've now got 1 loop on your hook. Okay, it might look a little bit different to your normal project, but just trust me, it is easier once you get the hang of it. So you're going to yarn over, and this time you're going to put your hook through the 2 bars, or the 2 stitches nearest your fingers that you're holding the yarn with. So that's the one that's closest to the initial slip knot. These will become the top part of your double crochet stitch. So you're going to put the hook through both of these little stitches and then you're going to pull up a loop. You've now got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through another loop. So now you've got 3 on your hook again. Yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over again and pull through 2 again. Each time you have 1 loop left on your hook, that means you've built a new stitch with the chain included. So when you've worked through, you'll see that it'll become a bit more rhythmic, where you're going to be pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 2, and you'll end up with 1 on your hook. The most awkward part of this initial process is making sure that you've went through both parts of the top stitch. You want to make sure you go through both loops on the yarn, on the fabric that you're creating each time, rather than just 1 loop from the fabric. Okay, so again we'll yarn over, pull up a loop, then yarn over again, through 1, then pull through 2, and again pull through 2. If I turn it on the view so that you can see the top of the stitches, you should be able to see that each stitch is visible with both parts of it as a normal stitch row would be showing, and the same at the bottom. Now, some people might tell you to turn it upside down, and that's the part that when I was learning how to do a foundation double crochet that I found quite confusing. So if you're like me, don't worry about it. The beauty of a foundation double crochet is that you can work from the top or the bottom. They'll both give you a nice clean edge and stitch to work with, and you can I often use it for the bottom of my pullovers. You can use either side. Remember, crochet's an individual thing, so I don't really mind what side to use. I just make my row and then crochet into it. If my hook wasn't in the way, you would be able to see that as well as the starting chain of 3, which count at the first double crochet, I've made 4 more, so this would be 5 double crochet altogether. So just work your way through. Once you've got a few stitches on your fabric row, you should be able to see it easier. So we just yarn over, pull through 1, then yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. One loop left on your hook means that you've completed a stitch, and just work your way across for as many stitches or your initial chain or your initial row demands, however many you want. I hope this has been useful for you. I certainly wish that I had a simple guide to follow when I was learning this useful technique, and I think you'll find it very useful in a number of projects. I'd love to know which projects that you're working on and which projects that you're going to use this on, and also I'd love you to comment below and let me know if you found this tutorial helpful, or if you've got any feedback for improving it even further. If you've got other techniques for doing chainless foundations as well, I'd love to hear them. I'm always happy to take on new ideas. I'll just remind viewers that if you haven't checked out my website, I have a website, www.lovelydoubledesign.co.uk. I'd love for you to check it out, see what you think. There's lots of patterns, tutorials, tips and other helpful things to help you on your crochet journey. I'm also always looking for testers of my patterns as well, so if that's something that interests you, there's a form you can go and fill in, and I'd love to hear from you with there. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Lovely Double Design. You'll be able to find me on most platforms with the same name or same handle. And until next time, happy crocheting, my lovelies, and I'll see you all in the next video. Oh, I forgot to mention, look at how gorgeous this stretch is on this foundation roll. I just love it, and I find it really rewarding when I've got to the end and I know that I don't have to go back and work a chain and then work the foundation row into the chain and then it all gets tangled up. It's much simpler doing it this way. So good luck and happy crocheting.